Well, we're coming down to the end of our day. We're going to finish with making the frosting for the whoopie pies and filling them. And then we'll bring down the ginger snaps. And finally, we're going to set everything out and see what we've done today. So, for the filling, remember this morning, so many hours ago, we cooked basically a white sauce or white gravy with with flour and milk. That is still here. We're going to stir it up. Now we're going to add 1 cup of butter. And then this should be quite soft butter. I was at the fairgrounds on Saturday. This is Monday. I was at the fairgrounds on Saturday doing a baking demonstration. And it was a cool day, and I didn't have a microwave. So I tried to soften the butter between my hands as much as possible for the filling, but it wasn't all that successful, and so there were still small lumps of butter in the icing, not particularly pleasing. So I've made sure that we have soft butter for this. You really want to whip it around. The butter goes right into the white sauce. Next, we're going to put in 2 cups, 1 cup of sugar. Well, it's not as sweet as I thought. There we go. 1 cup of sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. And since it was a Ruth Sowers recipe, she has to have a little bit of salt, but we're not going to do much. There. Now, we blend all of this up. And this is the icing, or as they say, the filling for the whoopie pies. Because it is a cooked filling, even though it is cooled off a long time ago, it evaporates very quickly. The whoopie pies that we make here will have to be eaten within the hour if you want the full effect of the icing before it evaporates. So this is going to be our supper tonight. I'm not really sure. Now, we have our whoopie pies. Take a spoonful of filling, spread it on one, slap on the crust. There you go. Ruth Sowers whoopie pie. We're going to go until the minute timer runs off, goes off. Then we're going to go up and pull out the ginger snaps and see how they look. Then we'll come back and finish up the filling. The taste of this filling is very unusual for those who are not familiar with a cooked filling. It doesn't taste like a buttercream icing. It doesn't even taste like a cooked 7-minute icing. It has a very unique flavor. Let's go check on the ginger snaps. Christian and I have walked up this hill many times today. It's 5:30. Daylight is waning. The turkeys are waiting to be fed. The dogs are ready to be taken for a walk. But we have one last thing to do at the bake oven, and that is to pull out the ginger snaps. The smells alone are promising. Let's check it out. We promising, promising. Again, you can see how wide those are. It was, oops. They could have used perhaps a little more flour. A cinder fell in. But what you'll see is the textured and mottled surface that comes from the caramelization of the butter. This is what will give the ginger snap, its crunch. It actually forms a crunchy crust on the cookie and makes it quite remarkable. That's it for our baking in the bake oven today. We could leave the oven open. However, I typically like to close the oven when it's not in use. I'll just put the door in. We'll leave the cloths here. Tomorrow's another day. We'll do the cleanup tomorrow. We'll be down at the Gemeinde house looking at what we've done, what we've made today, and finishing filling the whoopie pies. Here we are. It's the end of a bake day. I'm beat. I know Christian's beat. It's about 6 o'clock. We started the fire about 10:30. It has taken indeed an entire day. But look at what we've made. An incredible array of pies, cakes, cookies. Let's check out what we have. The one that's most burned on the top, the gingerbread, actually looks very good on the inside. In fact, it's very tasty, very light. The shoe-fly pie. Ah yes, there it is, the famous wet bottom. The apple raisin pie. The crumb topping is lightly browned. It's cooled off to the point where the filling itself has solidified and is not runny. We have the black gel cake, which only goes to show that that part of the oven was not completely level. We have our apple pan dowdy or apple crisp. We have the cornbread. We have Bertha Hitt's crumb cake. We have the ginger snaps, which snap. We have the whoopie pies with the baked filling in them. We have the whole wheat loaves from David and Levina High's flour. We have our 50-50 loaves with the half bread flour, half whole wheat. And this is it. This is the successful conclusion of our bake day. Is it completely perfect? No, not at all. But everything is good, and everything was made right here by us. And we can say, hey, this is our food, and we're proud of it. This is not artisanal cooking. This is not fancy bake school cooking. This is cooking of the people. In fact, we want to acknowledge the generations of Pennsylvania Dutch women who spent their lives baking just like this. Sometimes it came out perfectly, sometimes it didn't. But the families were appreciative. This food would keep a family going for days. This food meant the difference between survival and starvation. And we are proud to be able to share this with you today. Julia Child, always ended her shows with bon appetit. It's a little bit different here in Pennsylvania Dutch land. We say, cum esse, let's eat.